The Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad in simple English, part 9 of 15, Muni Kanda continued, chapter 3 concluded. In this part, Shakalya asks Yagyavalkya the final questions on the many gods and one Brahm, on the 8 different persons and their corresponding divinities, on the 5 directions in space and their deities and supports. The chapter concludes with Yagyavalkya comparing man to a tree. Then Vidagdha Shakalya asked Yagyavalkya, "How many gods are there, Yagyavalkya?" He answered, in accord with the Nivid, which are the group of verses giving the number of gods recited in the hymns of praise to the Vishwadevas, there are 303 and 3003 gods. Yes, but how many gods are there? 33. Yes, but how many gods are there? 6. Yes, but how many gods are there? 3. Yes, but how many gods are there? 2. Yes, but how many gods are there? 1.5. Yes, but how many gods are there? 1. Yes. But which are the 303 and which are the 3003? Yagyavalkya replied, there are in fact only 33 gods. The 3003 and the 303 are only manifestations of these 33 gods. Which are these 33? These are the 8 Vasus, the 11 Rudras and the 12 Adityas, which make 31, and along with Indra and Prajapati they make up 33. Which are the Vasus? Fire, earth, air, sky, sun, heaven, moon and the stars. These are the 8 Vasus, who are called Vasus because they help others to live. For it is in the Vasus that all that exists is placed. The Vasus transform themselves into bodies and organs of all beings. They serve as the support for their work and for its completion, and as their dwelling places as well. They help other beings to live, and they themselves also live. Which are the Rudras? The 10 vital breaths represented by the 5 organs of knowledge and the 5 of action in a person, with the mind as the 11th. When they depart from the mortal body, they make us, his relatives, cry. So because they make us cry, therefore they are called Rudras. Which are the Adityas? The 12 months of the years of the 12 months of the year are the Adityas, for they move carrying along all and everything in existence. Since they move carrying along all in existence, therefore they are called Adityas. Which is Indra? Which is Prajapati? Indra is the thunder. Indra is the power. Prajapati is the sacrifice. Which is the thunder? The thunderbolt. Which is the sacrifice? The sacrificial animals. Which are the 6? Fire, earth, air, sky, sun and heaven. These are 6, for the 6 are all this that exists. Which are the 3 gods? They are the 3 worlds, for in them all these gods exist. The earth and the fire make one god. The sky and the air make another god. The sun and the heaven make the third god. Which are the 2 gods? Food and breath. Which is the 1.5? The air which blows. Regarding this, some say that since air blows like one, how then is he 1.5? The answer is because in him, when he blows, all this grew up. Which is the one god? The breath. He is Brahm. They call him Tyat. They call him that. He who knows that person, whose abode is the earth, whose world is the fire, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower. Yagyavalkya? Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person, who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is in this body is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? The immortal, replied Shakalya, and he who knows that person, whose abode is desire, whose world is the heart, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower. Yagyavalkya? Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person, who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is made of desire is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? Women, said he. And he who knows that person, whose abode is forms, whose world is the eye, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower, Yagyavalkya. Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is in the sun is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? Truth, said he. And he who knows that person, whose abode is space, whose world is the ear, whose light is mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower. Yagyavalkya? Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is in hearing and who is in the echo is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? The quarters of space, said he. And he who knows that person, whose abode is darkness, whose world is the heart, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower, Yagyavalkya. Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is made of shadow is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? Death, said he. And he who knows that person, whose abode is forms, whose world is the eye, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower, Yagyavalkya. Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is in the looking glass is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? Life, said he. And he who knows that person, whose abode is in water, whose world is the heart, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower. Yagyavalkya? Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is in water is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? Varun, said he. And he who knows that person, whose abode is semen, whose world is the heart, whose light is the mind, who is the ultimate support of every soul, he truly would be a knower. Yagyavalkya? Yagyavalkya replies, I know that person who is the ultimate support of every soul of whom you speak. This very person who is made of sin is he. Tell me, Shakalya, who is his God? Prajapati, said he. Shakalya said, Yagyavalkya, have these Brahmins thrown you to me to be burnt by me? Shakalya retorted, Yagyavalkya, what is the Brahm you know that you have talked down to the Brahmins of the Kurus and the Panchals? I know the quarters with their deities and supports. If you know the quarters with their deities and supports, tell me, what deity do you have in this eastern quarter? The deity sun. That sun, on what is it supported? On what does it rest? It is supported on the eye. On what is the eye supported? On forms, for one sees forms with the eye. On what are forms supported? On the heart, for one knows the forms through the heart. On the heart only are the forms supported. Agreed. What deity do you have in this southern quarter? The deity Yam, the lord of death. That Yam, on what is he supported? On what does he rest? On the sacrifice. On what is sacrifice supported? On the offerings to the priests. And what are the offerings to the priests supported? On faith. For when one has faith, it is then and then only that one gives offerings to the priests. Therefore, it is on faith that the offerings to the priests are supported. On what is faith supported? On the heart. For through the heart one knows faith. Truly, on the heart alone is faith supported. Agreed. What deity do you have in this western quarter? The deity Varun. That Varun, on what is he supported? On water. On what is water supported? On semen. On what is semen supported? On the heart. Therefore they say of a newborn child who resembles the father that it seems as if he has slipped out of the heart of his father. He is built out of his heart, for on the heart alone is semen supported. Agreed. What deity do you have in this northern quarter? The deity Som. That deity Som, on what is he supported? On the initiatory rite. On what is the initiation supported? On truth. Therefore, they say to one who is initiated always speak the truth, for on truth alone is the initiation supported. On what is truth supported? On the heart. For through the heart it is that one knows the truth. Therefore it is on the heart that the truth is supported. What deity agreed? What deity do you have in this fixed quarter, the zenith? The deity of fire. On what is fire supported? On speech. On what is speech supported? On the heart. On what is the heart supported? You fool, said Yagyavalkya, how can you even think that the heart would be anywhere else than in the body, than in ourselves? For if it were anywhere else than in ourselves, then dogs would eat it, or the birds would tear it to pieces. Shakalya said, on what are you, your body, your heart, and yourself supported? On pran vayu, on life breath. On what is pran vayu supported? On the apan vayu, the out breath. On what is the out breath supported? On the vyan vayu, the diffused breath. On what is vyan vayu, the diffused breath supported? On the saman vayu, the equalizing or the middle breath. That self has been described as neti, neti, as not this, not this. The self is imperceptible, for it cannot be perceived. It is incomprehensible, for it cannot be comprehended. It is undecaying, for it never decays. It is unattached, for it does not attach itself. It is unfettered. It does not feel pain. It is never injured. These are the eight abodes, the eight worlds, the eight gods, the eight persons. He who takes apart and puts together these persons within himself, and at the same time passes beyond them and transcends them, that is the person taught in the Upanishads, about whom I ask you. If you do not explain him to me, your head will fall off, Shakalya. Shakalya did not know him and could not explain him. His head fell off. Robbers, mistaking them for something valuable, took away his bones. Then Yagyavalkya said, Venerable Brahmins, whoever among you wishes to question me individually or altogether may do so, or I will question him among you who wishes to be questioned. The Brahmins, however, did not dare to say anything and kept silent. Then Yagyavalkya questioned them with the following verse. Man is like a large tree. His hairs are like the leaves of a tree, and his skin is like the outer bark of a tree. Blood flows out from the skin of a man. Similarly, sap flows out from the bark of a tree. When a man is wounded, blood flows out. Similarly, sap flows from a tree when it is struck and wounded. The flesh of man is like the inner bark of a tree. His nerves are tough, like the inner fibers of a tree. His bones are within him, just as wood is within the tree. His marrow resembles the pith of the tree. A tree, when it is felled, springs up from its roots in a new form. From what root does man spring forth when he is cut off by death? Do not say from semen, for that is produced from live men. A tree springs also from the seed. After it is dead, it certainly springs again from the seed. However, if a tree is pulled out with the root, if it is pulled out from its roots, it will not spring again. From what root does a mortal spring forth when he is cut off by death? When born, he is not born again, for who would create him again? Brahm, who is knowledge and bliss, is the final goal of him who offers gifts, as well as of him who stands firm and knows Brahm. End of chapter 3, end of part 9 of 15. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om.